This is the Discover Seward County podcast, where we explore the people and places that make Seward County great. Hey everybody, you're about to hear a conversation I got to have with Alexa McNally from the William Henry Dance Studio, William Henry School of the Arts, I'll be very specific, here in Seward. This was a fantastic conversation. We get to hear a lot about what Alexa's experience as a small business owner in a small town is like, especially doing creative work. And there's always kind of a push and pull there between doing something creative and also trying to make a business out of it. And even more broadly, her thoughts on community and what it means to, work with kids and her responsibility in spending a lot of time with the kids that she gets to have in the studio. I really enjoyed this conversation. My kids both dance with Alexa at her school, at her studio, and our family has been a big fan of Alexa for a while. But after this conversation, I went home and I told my girls that they can do as many dance classes as they want because we're a William Henry family. We're going to support Alexa and everything she does. So she has some great thoughts on what it means to be a part of a community and just what it means to be involved and to be a part of. So this is a wide-ranging conversation. We talked about a lot more than just dance, but I hope you guys enjoy it as much as I did. So here we go. Here's Alexa. I'm going to shut up now. Well, thank you again.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is so fun.
I'm a little nervous. I'm not going to lie to you, but
no.
I'm excited.
Just a conversation.
I'm glad I remembered too, because I put it on my calendar, but I put it for 11 p.m.
Oh,
I'm looking everywhere for it. And I'm like, I can't find it anywhere. My husband's like, what are you doing tonight at 11 p.m.? Like, well, nothing, a.m.
So where are you in Seward?
Yeah, so right now, we actually live in the building.
You do not?
Yes, we live in the building.
Gosh.
I have a really amazing husband who, when I approached him that we wanted to move into this building, he was like, all right, let's do it. So there's actually an apartment in the back that eventually, when we move on to the next steps, that we'll turn that apartment into our new art space.
Okay.
So that it's got two different classrooms than what is now our bedroom and our living room, plus a giant kitchen so that we can expand what we're doing. And then we'll turn the current art space into a third dance studio.
Amazing. I had no idea.
Yeah.
That is a well-kept, there is no hint that that's like a residence. It just looks like, and what was it before? You told me the other day.
So before this, the people who had, it was originally going to be the Bark Park. That didn't come to fruition. And then at one point it was also going to be a distillery too. So our office now, the downstairs office was what was going to be the cooler room.
Okay.
So now we've renovated it to be an office. So we're in the cooler room. Yeah.
It is so impressive to me how it seems like you guys are like goldfish. There is no space big enough. You just keep growing to fit the space and then expanding.
Just keep growing. I know, because we changed what was the old office into more lobby space this year, and the older girls have taken over that space, and they love it. So I don't know how we did it.
Except the younger girls I see whenever I drop my kids off.
They like to come in hey, I'd like to hang out with you. Absolutely.
So how many years have you been doing William?
This will be our 6th season this year.
And you're 6th as owner?
Yep.
Okay.
I 6th as owner.
So did somebody own it prior to you? This is so funny because I've known you for a couple of years. I know none of this backstory.
That's okay. So when I took over, before it was called In Motion, and a previous person who lived here in Seward, she had opened up just a couple dance classes as part of her fitness studio. And so I came on the year before COVID happened as let's run this, potentially taking over, all that good stuff. Well, then COVID happened, and I had a panic moment, I won't lie to you, of oh God, what have I done? I've signed the papers, I've done all this, and now we're in the middle of a pandemic. Am I going to have any students? I ended up only having 20 students return from the core group that she had, but we ended up having 60 students that very first year after taking over. So Yeah.
What do you credit that to?
I don't know. I think just good word of mouth. I also, when I moved back here, my mom used to be a pastor here within town, so she knew a lot of people. I worked at the daycare center here in town at the Methodist church, so I felt like I was pretty ingrained with like the kids and the parents within town. So I felt like I had a lot of people that were like, oh, dance classes with Alexa, let's come do them. So I was really grateful for that.
So are you a Seward native?
I am not. I actually grew up in North Carolina before moving
really?
here. Yeah,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
What brought you here from North Carolina?
So my dad grew up in Gothenburg, Nebraska,
Gotcha.
and I'd always wanted to come to UNL. That'd been like one of my lifelong dreams. But out-of-state tuition is wild, wild. So I said, in-state is what I'm going to do. And it turned out that my sophomore year of college, my parents moved out here. And I was like, oh, that's fine. They're going to love it. They're going to love it. Helped them move out at Christmas. And immediately was like, I have to come here too. Ended up being able to get in-state tuition because they had moved here 6 months prior.
Oh my gosh.
Was able to come out here, finish my degree here, and really enjoyed being here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
What was your degree in?
So my degree is actually nothing related to dance.
As so many people.
Right. Like my dad's a chemistry degree. He hasn't used that in years.
Yep.
But I have a BFA in theater design with an emphasis in scenic painting. So after I graduated, I was sure that I was going to travel the country, move theater to theater, working as a scenic artist. And about after my third or fourth gig, I was like, I'm tired of living in my car. I'm going to move back to Seward, and I don't know what I want to do. I just know I want to do something with art, something with kids. And ended up this opportunity fell in my lap, and I've been here ever since.
There's a reason there's a reason you and Kaitlyn get along so
Right,
well.
right.
She's got that artist gene as well.
Yep. I didn't know what I wanted to do, just kids and art. That's all I knew.
That is so cool. So so you were working for In Motion
Yep.
first and then kind of took over?
Yep, took over at the end of the year. We ended up not being able to have a recital because of COVID
Right.
and all that good stuff. So my dad and I, we hand-delivered all of the costumes. He drove me. He chauffeured me around. Thanks, Dad. He took me out everywhere around Seward County to deliver the costumes to our students who would have been in a performance, to also announce, I'm taking over. Come join us. So that very first season was kind of wild because, we had all our COVID rules. We danced in our magic dance boxes, aka our 6-foot boxes that you could not leave. We had a
penalty of death.
Yes, we had a lot of fun being creative and magical about our boxes. Our older students were like, "Come on, we know what these are." But it was really cool transition into taking over ownership there.
What has that been like? Because that's a fascinating thing to go from, like, I work here.
Yeah.
Now I own it.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously you have a passion for it. But, like, man, I have said to so many people, until you have actually run a business, you have no idea what it's like.
You have no idea.
Because it gets glamorized, right? Like, the
Sure
small
does.
business owner. Well, like, actually, do you just want, like, constant stress and anxiety?
100%. I think there have definitely been years where I'm like, I hate this. What am I doing? What am I doing? And then the next year I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. I love this. It's definitely been like a growing journey. I feel like that first year was like, all right, I was working a second job as well because business doesn't always turn a profit right away and you still have to eat. So I was working 2 or 3 jobs, also working at the dance studio. I was also just in the beginning stages of dating my now husband, which was also like, hey, I'm making this big life choice. Welcome. Hang out with me. But then like year 2, I felt like, all right, we've got this figured out. I think year 3 and 4 were the hardest for me. Just personally getting in the mix of not everybody's going to like you. Not everybody's going to like what you have to offer. And that's okay. And getting to a point where that's just okay. I think this year 6, is the first year that I'm like, just is what it is.
Yeah.
Just roll with the punches, getting better and better every year. I had a teacher today who she's gotten struck with the food poisoning, called me this morning and said, I'm not going to be able to come to class. I think year 2, I would have had like a meltdown of like, oh my God, what do? I don't have any subs. This year's just fine. We're figuring it out. I'm going to cover a couple classes. I've got my roster. It'll be just fine. So it's definitely been a growing pain, but
absolutely.
Getting there.
Absolutely. I think so. I don't know. I'm not going to put you on the spot. I think Kaithlyn's been with you for 2 years, 2 years now. So immediately, the first time, I think she came to like a camp first in the summer.
She did.
Immediately upon dropping her off, like walking into that space, the first thing you notice is a vibe. Like, and I don't know, I like to think I'm a man of science, but like it's totally unquantifiable, but there is a real vibe that you have created there. And I'm curious what that is for you. Like, what is the like guiding principle behind what you're trying to build there? For
sure. So I grew up actually going to 2 different studios. One of them was a competitive studio where we did dance competitions, and my other studio was a recreational studio. And so it was really, really important to me when we started the studio that culture was like the most important thing that we were cultivating. And I wanted a place where students could come and they would feel loved, they'd feel appreciated, and they could create like a real love for the arts, because I'm very aware I might have a few students who go off and become dancers or become artists, but the majority of them are not going to make dance a lifelong passion of theirs, and that's okay. But I wanted to develop that like appreciation for the arts and appreciation for our facilities. That's what I call our bodies within Dance Studio. It's our facility because it does our job. We love it. We take care of it. And so I really, really felt like our culture was super important. And as a part of that, I was very, very picky about who I picked to come on staff. Miss Peyton's been with me since that very first year. And Miss Ella, with that very first year, she was a senior in high school. She was an assistant. And those two really helped me solidify our culture within the studio, that it's kind, it's compassionate. Our tagline's creative, bold, joyful, learning how to be those things within becoming an artist as well.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's so cool. And it's a perspective that it's so funny you said, like, that the vast majority, right?
Yeah,
98,
no, probably
99%
not.
are not going to be lifelong involved in dancing in that way. I've been having this conversation with multiple people about sports, like youth sports.
Absolutely. Same thing.
The same attitude. It seems like it gets twisted really quick.
It does.
Where everybody thinks they're raising a D1 athlete. Yeah. When the reality is you're actually training them for other things.
Correct.
Through the proxy of these different events they're doing. How did you come to that realization?
I think
a lot of people seem to not have yet.
For sure. I think for me, so I had scoliosis growing up, and when I went to school originally in college, I was going to be a dance major. That was my goal. I wanted to dance on a cruise ship like my dance teacher had. I wanted to be on Broadway. I wanted to do all those things. But my scoliosis took a turn. That very first semester, I went at Thanksgiving for what I thought was just a checkup, and my degree had changed about 40 degrees. It had drastically changed.
That's a big change.
Oh, very much so. And I was told, look, you either get surgery or you're going to be paralyzed. You choose. And of course, at that age, you're like, well, I don't think I want to be paralyzed, so let's do the surgery. It ended up the curvature. It got worse between Thanksgiving and Christmas when I came back. I had ended up packing out of my dorm, moving back home, doing all the things, which being out of the house the first semester, you get that taste of freedom. You're like, I love you, Mom and Dad. I don't want to come back. And I'm sure my brother was like, dude, you just left. What are you doing back here? So when I did my surgery, it was supposed to be a 4-hour surgery. It ended up being an 8-hour surgery. I have 24 screws in my spine, 2 rods. And it was one of those like life-altering things of like, I'm never going to dance the same way I danced ever again. And like there was no change, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so I spent 6 months being what my mom would tell you, very angry. Yeah. Very angry that my body no longer did the thing that I loved to do. And so I probably took about 2 years off of dance after that point of like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to go anywhere near it. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to teach any of that kind of stuff. And it was when I moved back here that I was like, man, I think I'd like to dip my toes back in the water again. And I think going through that experience really changed how I view dance, that it doesn't matter that necessarily how great I end up being forever, but that if I can appreciate that my body can still move, if I can appreciate how my body can still work within this realm, then that's okay. And I think that very much shaped as a teacher that we all come with different struggles. Our bodies are all different. Our abilities are all different. We're growing and changing at different rates, that it was really important how we went about creating that culture of inclusivity within the studio.
That's incredible. Yeah. And kudos, because I think so many people, I mean, that's a grieving process, right?
Yeah,
like you had to grieve what
very
you thought was the future. And it's a recurring theme. We've talked about this with other people too, like that, it's easy. You can either be bitter or you can use that to like, you can use that grief to either like grow this bitterness inside of you, or you can use it to birth something that brings other people in and like softens that. For sure. I appreciate that about what you guys are doing, is that you have found this sweet spot of inclusivity. Yeah. We're having some laughs. We're not taking this super seriously, right? But at the same time, like the kids get stuff done. They are learning some difficult stuff.
They do. I think that comes from my mom. She's an early childhood, was an early childhood teacher before she transitioned into her role as a pastor as her second career. And so I always felt like we grew up like getting best practice is what she always called it, best practice. So I grew up with like that mindset of this is best practice. And we always learned best through play. We always learned best through fun. So most of our class, we really structured around how can we make this engaging and fun for the students while still holding true to like the tradition, the techniques, and overcoming our challenges so that we can be good and have fun. I don't think that those are mutually exclusive, that you can either just have fun or you can just be good. I think they can coexist. And I think our teachers really do a good job of helping that coexist.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
This isn't something I talk about a ton,
Yeah.
but I used to work with youth and family for like 15, 20 years.
That's
I did a
awesome.
ton. And then I got really burned out and had to
Yeah, that
pivot.
does happen.
But like one of the concepts that always stuck out to me was the concept of trusted other adults, right? Like,
Correct.
obviously you don't want kids going out there and like just telling
No.
anything to anybody,
No.
but to have trusted other grownups.
Yeah.
And that's like, what, I think you're aware, but I don't know how fully aware, like what a blessing and a service that is that you're providing.
Thank you.
Because sometimes kids will just, it's especially at that age, like you're naturally
You are.
pushing away from your parents a little bit,
Absolutely.
establishing a life outside of the family unit.
Absolutely.
And to have somebody who's like compassionate and understanding, and somebody who will like
We try our best.
raise the red flag if there is something.
Try our
and,
best.
like,
Absolutely. My husband will tell you, I cry over these kids. I think about these kids. I pray over these kids. We love them and we think about them constantly. And they are always our reason why of what we're doing.
well, and I think that shows you guys have been growing insane. Just even in the couple of years that I've kind of been in the orbit of the studio.
For sure.
Is that natural? Like, are you guys going out pursuing growth, or is it just like word of mouth?
I will tell you, I am an adult with ADHD. That's why my podcast time on my calendar is for 11 p.m., not 11 a.m.
Might be 11, right?
Right, it's 11
That's points.
sometime, and it's on Tuesday. I
And
put
the
it on
right
correct
day.
And the correct day. I did all the
Crushing
things.
it.
But I would definitely say, like, our marketing plan, that's always the thing that falls to the wayside. And I know anybody listening right now who does marketing is like, my God, Alexa, get it together. But that's always what has fallen to the wayside of social media. It'll get done when it's done. The email blasts, they'll get done when they get done, because we're so more focused on our lesson planning, the curriculum, making sure we're offering quality classes. So I think a lot of it is word of mouth. And I really pride ourselves on having a really good retention rate. For the majority of our students who choose not to come back, it's not because they didn't like us or what we're offering. It's because either they moved, they needed a better fit, or they're going to explore other options, whether that be sports or other art activities, kind of a deal.
You're going down the path of being really good at what you do, and I think that's really showing.
I appreciate that.
Have there been challenges that have come with like growing as fast as you have?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I definitely think we're really lucky to have a lot of dance studios within the radius of us, and so I think that really works in our favor. I like to view it as, I appreciate community over competition. I don't view the other studios around us as competition, but I view that we all have different niches.
Yeah.
And that means we get the students who truly want to be at our studios. And so in our studio, we've got a holiday show, we've got a spring show, we've got a recreational program. For the majority, we do have a performance team, but it's not competition based. So we're finding students that really want to be at our studio because of who we are, which is really, really awesome. I mean, when Kaitlyn first started, I remember her coming to summer camp and being like, that one. I wanted that
told us
one
that.
all year. Yes,
You
absolutely.
told us that. Yep.
So I was like, I want her to come. I want her to be a part of this. And I think cultivating people that believe in what your studio is creating, not just having students for the sake of having students. I mean, for any business, having more people means a better bottom line. And we love that. But that's never been the focus for us. It's that I want to create kids who want to be here, who want to be a part of that. And as a result, I feel like we have a really tight-knit community within their classes, within the studio, that the younger students know the older students, that they look up to one another, that there's a relationships being built, that it's built on relationships.
Yeah, kids especially, but I think people just more generally, you have to feel safe before you can be challenged.
Absolutely.
And I think the kids that I have interacted with
Absolutely.
that are with you guys, they feel that absolutely. Maybe too safe sometimes.
Oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm like, dude, don't tell me that. I don't need to know about all of that.
Let's dial it back.
Yeah, I don't.
Let's have some boundary.
Yes,
Tiny.
like, don't tell me that. I don't need to know about all that. But for the most part, they're pretty awesome.
How'd you get the name? I know what it means, but I don't think everybody does.
So my dad actually helped me come with that. I knew I wanted it to be School of the Arts because I wanted to not just be limited or pigeonholed into just being dance, but so that we could offer acting, we could offer art classes, that we could really expand. So I know I wanted it to be School of the Arts, and Seward School of the Arts didn't have quite the ring that I was hoping for. And Dad's like, William Henry Seward is who Seward's named after. And I was like, well, that's it. William Henry. That was the easiest thing ever. So my dad really did that work for me. Yeah.
And I only knew what it meant because I asked Catherine.
Uh-huh.
I think her first year.
Yes.
One of her teachers, probably you had told her, like, here's why we call it this.
Absolutely. Well, and funny part is, too, I have a dog that I had gotten maybe 2 years before I opened the studio, and his name is Henry. So a lot of the students are like, your dog's named Henry. You must have named it after your dog. And I'm like, well, though I do love him, I did not. It is, in fact, after William Henry Seward.
How many times have you had to explain the name?
A few. Just a few.
Yeah.
It's not.
You and the other teachers are like on it's like first name basis in our house. The kids will just mention you. Oh, Alexa. Oh, Celia.
I love that. I love that.
Oh, Tay. And it's just like,
absolutely.
they just talk about you guys.
I love that.
What's the future hold for you?
Well, it feels like, I don't know, you spend like the first 5 years of your business like wanting to making it to the 5 years, because I mean, statistically, most businesses never make it to that 5 year.
Correct.
So now it feels like we're over the hump of like, what now? I really want to keep growing the program, establishing our dance program, making it bigger. But this year was our first year of offering acting classes. And that was kind of my goal of last year, of doing The Grinch as a 5-year production, doing acting scenes within it to show people this is what we could do. And so I'm having our new staff member, Zoe, on board to start this acting program. I would love to see that flourish, get bigger and bigger. I would love to see our art program flourish and get bigger and bigger. But I never want us to be like a mega studio. I think that sounds daunting. I don't think that's for me.
When you lose something too, right?
You do. Like, I love that I know all the kids, whether or not they're in my class. I know who they are, especially as we expand and add more teachers. I mean, we're up to 5 teachers plus me, with adding a 6th teacher to that mix too this season to come on as a lead teacher. I love that I can still know the kids. I know who their parents are. I can say, hey, how's your back doing after all that good stuff? Like, I enjoy that I know people. And so I think that's something that I would like to keep as we grow still.
For sure.
Yeah.
Speaking of growth, how do you think, how would you say you, in that course of the 6 years of coming out of a pandemic when nobody knew what was happening, right?
For
like,
sure.
is this the end? Is this Armageddon?
Right? Is this it?
And to now having experienced growth and like growth is great, but it also presents unique challenges. It does. And it's not all that glitters is gold, right?
It does.
How have you changed?
I would say it's not that serious. It's not that serious. Year 1 would be like, my God, Alexa, you've lost your mind. It is that serious. But at year 6, it's just not that serious. Nothing's life or death. Worst case scenario, the studio never continues after that. And that was like a hard thought for me that first year of like, what happens if something happens to the building, or if all my parents and students decide we hate you and we're not coming back? Like, what happens then? It just happens. And so I feel like my growth has really putting in good boundaries. And I feel like this year has been the first year I've just been at peace with growth. I've been at peace with students needing to change courses. I've been at peace with the crap that just hits the fan. I've been at peace that our costume shop is a disaster right now, that we're working to get it back in order. So I feel like getting each year of just more of that mindset that it's going to be okay. We're always going to figure it out. We figured it out before now. And if it's not figure outable, that's okay too. That the failure is okay. Because that's something I encourage my students. It's okay if you fail. It's okay if you mess up. And taking that to heart too, of like, it's okay if I have mess ups. The students will tell you, I'm not afraid to say when I'm the one in the wrong. I'm not afraid to apologize because I'm just as human as they are. And I have moments where I get like, could you guys just figure it out? And they look at me like, and I'm like, ooh, that was too much. I apologize, but I really need you to listen right now. So really trying to cultivate the mindset that I want the students to have too, and leading by example has been something that's been important to me. As teachers, I've always said, like, we're better than the year before, and we're going to be better next year. And so that's just kind of my growth mindset. I'm going to be year 6, Alexa is going to be better than year 5. And year 7, Alexa, I hope she's looking back at me and saying, I'm doing even better.
Is there like a growing sense of perfectionism? Like, I have to be good at everything?
I think I think to an extent, yes.
Is that it's a social media thing?
Oh,
like we're all just
100%,
where the algorithms are just cropping out the sadness, right?
Yeah. And I think there's such a need of like what kids think they're supposed to be and the values that they're supposed to have, that we're supposed to feel value in how we dress. We're supposed to feel value in how many friends we have. We're supposed to feel value in how popular we are. We're supposed to feel value in what other people think of us. And so I think it's a really big struggle of like finding that self-validation, that self-like. So I definitely think I see a lot of students who are struggling with liking themselves. And as a teacher, that hurts your heart.
Yeah.
Because you look at them and you don't think, how could anybody not like who you are? Because you are awesome. And that's something like the students tell you, I got this.
I don't.
I got this.
That's
I got
great.
this.
I've heard
It's
Catherine
just
say
fine.
it, and I
Yep,
didn't know where it was from.
There
it is.
I got this. And reminding ourselves that, like, even when we don't, we'll try again next time.
Yeah.
But to being brave and to grow. And I definitely think, like, those students struggle. I mean, I couldn't imagine growing up in the social media world that they do, and the values that I think are pushed on them by either their other peers, by social media, or by like what society says these are important things. I mean, I know as myself as an adult, I see things on social media of like, man, these people are in like year 6 of their business and they have a massive house and they have nice cars and whatnot. And I am in year 6 and I live in the building and I have hail damage on my car that's been also hit by a deer. Like, I think knowing like where your values are and helping remind them that like your values don't have to be the same, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. It doesn't mean that they're bad values. It means that it might just be different values for you as a person.
No, it's so hard not to project.
It's so hard.
Like,
It's
your
so
feelings onto the people around you, especially
so
young
hard.
people, because it's mostly good, right? Like you don't want people to
Absolutely.
experience any
Right.
negativity that you have, but
Absolutely.
you also can like inadvertently cause
Right?
the
And,
same
like,
problem.
Right. And like what might be a big deal to me is like nothing
Yeah.
to somebody else. But what is no big deal to me is like the biggest thing for those kiddos. So it's been really important for us as staff to make sure that we're giving them the space to just be.
Yeah.
That we give feedback. And sometimes my students will say, I'm really having a hard day. I'm really not open for much feedback today. And you say, okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Giving them the space to try it and mess up. I'll have students who try their whole kickball change across the floor and it is wrong. Every single time, but they're working for it. And you can tell their brain is working on it, that they don't need me to say, hey, you're not doing it right. They know.
Right.
They know they're not doing it right. They know that they have the space to figure it out. And then when they do get it, we really try and reward with high praise of, look what you did.
Yeah.
You figured that out. You accomplished that goal. Look at what you did. I didn't do anything. You did it. And we learn best through failure. Like that is the
100%.
best way to learn. So giving them a safe place to fail is just fine. And that's partly, we have an apprenticeship program at the studio where our older students are allowed to apply and help with other classes. And that kind of serves as like a double whammy for those students of that they're doing the basics because they're helping with a younger class. They're doing the basics over and over. So in turn, they're making their own skill set. And so it's been really nice to see this like community-based leadership from our own students within the studio with our younger ones.
So what you're saying is that leadership can actually be empathy forward.
100%. I think
Novel.
Yes, right. It's wild concept. I feel like community's kind of morphed into this like, well, I don't want to help you because it's way out of my time. I don't want to go pick you up from the airport because that's going to cost me 2 hours of my time and gas and blah, blah, blah. When it used to be, I'll just go pick you up.
Yeah.
It's just real life. Community should feel like an inconvenience. And I know that's like not a popular thing
Yeah.
to say like at all. Most people are like,
Oh, I'm here. I hear you.
community should feel good. Community doesn't feel good for the most part when it's an inconvenience to you, but that's when the best community happens.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Because there's also like, I think there's a part of us adults, especially because we
for
for better or for worse, shape the community for our
sure.
kids. There's this like latent perfectionism that we're striving for. Like there is
Absolutely.
this ideal Stepford version of life that
Absolutely.
we can't even really articulate, but we think we're not living up to.
For sure.
But I think is almost certainly a social media byproduct.
100%.
It's what happens when you create billion-dollar industries that are just engagement based.
Absolutely.
Right? Like it's all about emotional engagement and negative emotions are the strongest ones.
Absolutely.
But like there is like, I can't sacrifice any time because then this other thing is going to suffer, when it's like, again,
Correct.
It's not that serious.
Correct. I think like the storm
Chill
that
out.
came through 100%. Like I think the storm that came through a couple weeks ago, definitely like put it in perspective. Is it 100% inconvenient that I needed to clean up my own yard? 100%. Was it inconvenient for me to go and help my mother and father-in-law clean up their yard? Yes. That was the only thing I wanted to do that weekend. Was the weekend before classes started. All I wanted to do was rest because I'm recovering from my back injury. Do you know one thing? That's all I wanted to do. But that's when the community is important. It's important to, was it inconvenient? 100%. But did it make a difference? Absolutely. Absolutely.
You are 100% right, because it is inconvenient because you're giving of yourself.
Absolutely.
For someone else.
And let's be honest, nobody enjoyed picking up all those branches, but there were a lot of really beautiful moments within picking up those branches. During picking up, we had all of our neighbors stop by at the studio, check on us. We checked on them. Really nice community moment there of helping pick up. Spending time with my mother and father-in-law, getting to connect with them. I got to talk a little bit about my worries for the year, kind of decompress. I got to hear what they had coming up on their plate. And there were really beautiful community moments that happened through the inconvenience of having to pick up a bunch of trees.
Right. No, that's so true. Community is something that is by nature, like it pulls you outside of the selfish, ego-driven things, that cocoons that we have become, right?
Absolutely.
No, I think that's great. And I think it is so cool that you're building, like you're bringing those values into something like dance, into something like, really, I think what you're doing is you're building a community as much as you're building dancers.
I really appreciate that.
You're doing both, but I mean, the fact that there is that, culture is a much better word than vibe, but like the fact that is, you are so culture forward, and your teachers, like everybody seems to be in lockstep, right? Like
they are.
This is what we're doing. We're here to be inclusive. We're here to be kind. We're here to like help kids learn a skill for sure.
Absolutely.
But to have fun doing it and to build community while you're doing it, I think that is a model that I would love to see more youth activities embrace.
I think so too.
Less competition.
Yeah.
More collaboration, more community building, skill building.
Yeah,
absolutely. It's those skills and those healthy habits that they'll carry for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. And by no means are we perfect at it. No, but I think that's part of the model is like being okay with not being perfect at it. Being okay with saying sorry when you mess up. Being okay with telling the kids, look, this was a flaw on my part. I messed up. Because they learn through watching adults mess up. They learn through watching adults lead by example. And I think we're just going to keep trying to do our best at it.
Well, keep it up.
Thanks.
And thank you so much for being willing to come down and chat today.
Thanks for having me. This has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, if you ever want to talk marketing sometime, let me know.
Definitely. You can come help the social media account.
I can give you some tips.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Thanks.
You guys are doing a great job.
Alexa, do you want to plug your place specifically, how people can reach you, phone number, all that, and we'll pop stuff on the screen.
Absolutely. We're located over at 316 North 5th Street, just catty corner from the Bark Park. You can reach us. My phone number is 910-214-9078. You can also contact me by email at alexa@williamhenryschoolofthearts.com. We have registration open until the last... Okay, let me start that over. Can you cut that?
Okay,
fabulous. What day is that? We have registration open until September 5th, so there's still 2 weeks to join in on our season, and then we open up registration again after our holiday show before December.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Digging it.
Sweet.
Thanks for everything you do for the kids and for the community.
Cut anything that I said that was dumb.
Nothing. It was all great.
So you are like, you're ADHD, you're on the exact brainwave that I am.
Yep.
Like you were...
I get halfway through and I was like, I don't even know if I answered the question, but I hope I did somewhere in the roundabout way.
That was so good. Genuinely, I
Thanks.
appreciate not only what you do for the kids, but how you do it is just, I don't know, there's not enough like it, to be honest with you.
It's meaningful, and like words of affirmation is my love language as well, so like hearing that means a lot to me. I'll hold on to that for the next 2 or 3 weeks.
Let me know anytime, because Christina and I will affirm you
your girls do it for me, man.
Good.
I miss Charlotte. Could she get not sick? Like, come on, girlfriend.
This episode of the Discover Seward County podcast was brought to you by Hughes Brothers, the Seward County Visitors Bureau, Union Bank and Trust, Pet Source, GBE, and Lincoln Premium Poultry. I guess other people. JJ, do you know who William Henry is?
Seward's Folly. Was he the one who purchased Alaska and everyone was mad at him.
You only know that because of the podcast. You are so full of crap. You only know that because we had the Folly Hunt guys on and they talked about it.
Seward's Folly.
There's no way.
Hey, he's learning on
We need to
the
get you a
job.
mic back there so other people can hear your bullshit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm not cutting that out because that's 100% true.
I love that.